Welcome back to another episode of Grizzly Books True Crime. My name is Gisela K, and today we're going to be looking at this news of Cleo Smith found right, the accused kidnapper, Terrence Daryl Kelly's traumatic childhood revealed. No surprises there, right? Alright, I'm back with you. If you are not yet a subscriber, please hit subscribe and the bell so you get all things Grizzly Books True Crime. Let's get started. So I'm not surprised by this. You know, it's very sad, but what one does with your trauma, that makes all the difference. You can be very, very traumatized, right? But you cannot harm others, and you really shouldn't harm yourself. Especially not children, but we don't know if there's any harm physically caused to Cleo yet. We're yet to tell, but Terrence Daryl Kelly has been moved to a maximum security prison. He got flown out. This is why there's this picture here in the Cessna an hour and 39 minutes later, and got taken to a maximum security prison. Okay, so let's have a look at this. An interview with a woman who cared for Cleo Smith's accused kidnapper, Terrence Daryl Kelly, has revealed he was removed from his mother's care at a young age. Penny Walker, a respected member of the indigenous community, took Mr. Kelly in when he was just 2 years old. Ms. Walker spoke about how Mr. Kelly ended up in her care and gave insight into his tumultuous early life during a 2019 oral history review. His mum didn't want him and she threw him away, she said. I looked down at him and this little boy. God was giving me something back into my life, what the welfare took off me, my children. Miss Walker said she raised Mr. Kelly alongside her 2 grandsons after the death of her daughter from MS. She died in 2020, leaving Mr. Kelly living alone in their Carnarvon house. Miss Walker was part of the stolen generation and also spoke about her traumatic childhood, which included SA. This is what SA is when I refer to that, and beatings at the Moore River Native Settlement and New Norcia Mission. She said this led to her becoming an alcoholic and having her 6 children taken away before turning her life around. Mr. Kelly was arrested last week after an extensive police investigation led detectives to his Carnarvon home, where 4-year-old Cleo was found in a room inside the locked house. After his arrest, the 36-year-old, who has been described by neighbors as quiet and lonely, faced Carnarvon Magistrates Court on charges including forcibly taking a child under 16. They haven't told us what other charges he's facing yet. Barefoot and wearing a black t-shirt, the 36-year-old shouted, "I'm coming for you," at media assembled to cover his first court appearance. The next day, he was flown from the small community to Perth before spending his first night in a maximum security prison. On Monday, forensic police remained at Mr. Kelly's home as the investigation into Cleo's abduction continues, entering its 6th day. Some of the lead detectives in the case have returned to Carnarvon, including Detective Senior Sergeant Cameron Blaine, who was one of 4 detectives who rescued Cleo from Mr. Kelly's home. Okay, so if we look at this, here you can see they're still taking bags of evidence loaded up from the crime scene, right? And if we look at this article, I won't read it all to you now, but you can see they've set up a tent in the backyard. It's no longer a gazebo type, I believe. They can close it now because they want some privacy as they're looking into everything. They say a big white evidence bag was taken out of the home today and placed into a trailer, with forensic police also seen holding biohazard bags, likely holding samples. So let's hope we're not dealing with some kind of a serial killer. I don't know what they found there. We're yet to find out. So 2 trailers were packed to the brim with evidence bags and driven away, expected to now be taken to a laboratory, likely in Perth, for examination. It's unclear exactly what police have been carted away. Also here you can see he's being taken to the airplane with chains, you know, on his wrists and his feet. That's because of how he was behaving in court, and he was being quite aggressive. Also because he had been bashing his head against a wall in his holding cell and had to be put in a padded holding cell so that he can stop doing that. Right, how the escort of Cleo's kidnap accused played out. So if we look at this article, what I really want to find here, they had special ops guys helping out to transport him on this flight. That must have been quite stressful. This is the prison's name. Casuarina Prison, which has a special handling unit for prisoners who present a heightened security risk, a special protection unit for prisoners who are at special risk from the mainstream prisoner population, and a crisis care unit for prisoners at risk of self-harm. So that's where he is. It's also home to some of WA's worst criminals of the past 30 years, including Claremont killer Bradley Robert Edwards, the former soldier who killed rebels boss Nick Martin in a sniper-style assassination, and I can't say this word either, and killer Dante Arthurs and postcard bandit Brendan Abbott. They now have another accused over what Magistrate Ben White has already described as a notorious case. So it's very unlikely that he just let her play with the dolls in the house. If this is another one of the notorious cases, I'm thinking it could be a repeat offender who's done this many times before. And maybe they found evidence of that in the house, which is very scary to think about. Wow. So the case will return to court in December, right? Okay. There's also this story. This Aboriginal man, wrongly named as Cleo Smith abductor, plans to sue Seven Network. I mean, yeah, they put his face everywhere. This guy, he's like, oh, hell no. It makes sense that he wants to sue. So, Niall Mole man, oh, sorry for bumping the mic. Terry Flowers was at the hospital with his baby when he was told he had been identified by 7 News as a child abductor. He had a panic attack and was so distressed he needed medical treatment. The man wrongly identified as the abductor of Carnarvon toddler Cleo Smith by 7 News says he was deeply distressed by the monumental mistake. Terry Flowers, also known by his mother's name Kelly, had his photo plastered all over social media yesterday in connection with the case of 4-year-old Cleo Smith. He told Ngada Media he was very excited to hear that Cleo had been found at a home in Carnarvon. I rang my partner and told her they found that baby, that girl. We was happy for her, he said. But soon after, while at the Karata hospital with his own child, he got another call. My sister rang me and told me they've got my photo up for the person who took the girl. When he saw his photo on a social media post, he went to the local police station for assistance. The post was taken down but picked up by commercial television station Channel 7. We seen it up on Channel 7 and Sunrise page. I got upset and went back into the police station, he said. I ended up getting more upset and I had a panic attack in the police station. He was so distressed he ended up needing medical treatment. I got really upset yesterday. It put me in a state where I had to come to the hospital, he said. They gave me drugs just to calm me down. He said the media outlet should have done its job properly. That stuff is not acceptable. Gotta agree. What they did was go straight on Facebook. The first person they seen got through my photos and uploaded on social media and spread it around. Not just in Australia, this is worldwide. He says he's been talking to lawyers about taking legal action. I want them to do their job more seriously and professionally, and I'm going to end up suing them anyways because it's not the right thing for them to be doing, he said. 7 News published an apology to its website on Wednesday night. Early on Wednesday, 7 News wrongly showed images of a man that were incorrectly labeled as the person under arrest over the disappearance of Cleo Smith. They were removed promptly, but 7 News apologizes for this error. Okay. Right. That sucks. So be careful of that. Jumping on social media, finding pictures and being like, oh my word, I found the guy, because things can spread real quick on social media, huh? On the news and social media, so we've got to be careful of that. Not to do that. That must be so devastating. Imagine seeing your picture online and on the news of like, oh my word, we found this sicko, man. Look at this guy. He abducted this little girl. Like, wait, what? What? Anyway, that's all I have for you for today. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I don't know exactly what thoughts. Just let me know what you think about all this. I mean, to me, there's no surprises that this man was not this man. Let's go back to the actual man, just so we don't get confused. That this man was deeply traumatized. But, I mean, so was Jeffrey Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy, possibly Ted Bundy. I don't know. I don't see Ted Bundy as a deeply traumatized person, but maybe distressed. Point is, what you do with your trauma, that's what counts. And I would highly recommend therapy. Trauma counseling to anyone who's been through significant trauma. So yes, spoken from the horse's mouth. I mean, therapy for 3 hours a week. It's very important and it's very valuable. So yes, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up and I will see you in the next one. Stay safe.